We know that Sarbanes-Oxley, or Sarb-Ox, was passed in a political panic after some corporate scandals. And now it's been 6 years. So what do we know and what don't we know? Well, there are three things that we know about Sarbanes-Oxley. One, it created a huge expense and a vast bureaucracy. Two, it shifted the power within firms firmly to the accountants, to the outside accountants, who became very powerful, and as they were afraid of being accused themselves of doing anything wrong, always took the most conservative approach to any possible risk, and therefore made it more bureaucratic, more cumbersome, and more expensive for companies. The third thing we know about Sarbanes-Oxley is, having been enacted with the objective of controlling risk, it certainly didn't control risk, at least it didn't prevent the huge financial panic that we have on right now, so it doesn't seem to have worked if the idea was to control risk. Now, what we don't know is what was the benefit. There are many benefits argued for Sarbanes-Oxley in the way of better corporate risk controls, better accounting, and some people argue it's better for investors. So we have much greater costs, shift of power to accountants, obvious failure to prevent a major bust, and possible benefits that it's hard to quantify. How should you think about that? My answer has always been, well, make these things voluntary. If the costs exceed the benefits, then by definition, that's bad for investors, no matter what the benefits are. If the costs are greater, it's bad for investors. If the benefits of Sarbanes-Oxley exceed the costs, investors voluntarily will demand it. So why not just leave it up to investors as a voluntary matter? If they love all these Sarbanes-Oxley controls routine bureaucracies and costs and think they're worth it, they'll demand it. If they say, on the other hand, why do I want all this cost doing bookkeeping and bureaucratic routines when I could be spending it on research and development or marketing or production or training, then they'll do that. So that's what we ought to do. Make it voluntary, leave it up to the investors to decide.